today marks the first anniversary of what has been described as the worst attack on our nation's democracy since the Civil War. As lawmakers work to certify the 2020 election, thousands of pro-Trump protesters stormed the U.S. Capitol, battling police officers, breaking into congressional offices, and vandalizing the building. A total of 5 people died during or shortly after the attack, 3 protesters and 2 police officers. Damage done to the Capitol building itself is estimated to be around $1.5 million. So far, more than 725 people have been charged in connection with the events of January 6, including 14 from right here in Michigan. 7 Action News reporter Jen Shantz joins us live now with more on what we've learned about those cases and what investigators are still trying to uncover. Jen?
Good morning, Keenan. Well, more than half of those 14 Michigan defendants are from right here in Metro Detroit, and we have learned a lot over the past year about the people in D.C. that day, their mindsets, and how law enforcement has been able to track them down in the weeks and months since. But we also have more questions. Some of them may still take months to answer.
They work for us. They don't get to steal it from us.
The lie of a stolen election prompted thousands of Trump supporters like this man to storm the Capitol building 1 year ago. More than a dozen people from Michigan have been charged in connection with the events of January 6th, all men ranging in age from 25 to their mid-50s.
This Capitol policeman bursts in. He said, "Let's go right now."
Michigan Congressman Andy Levin was in his office in the Cannon House building on January 6th.
Jennifer, I didn't even take my laptop. It was that kind of an emergency.
He ended up in another Michigan lawmaker's office, Congresswoman Elissa Slotkin, police warning them of protesters possibly reaching their building.
They said to us, "Do not open your door."
Professor Javed Ali teaches at U of M. Before that, he spent nearly 2 decades working for the feds on counterterrorism. He says it's clear from the photos and videos that so quickly circulated that many rioters didn't expect consequences.
Most of those crimes are misdemeanors, but there have been some people charged with more serious felonies. So they're within this pool of people from Michigan. There have been people who definitely acted out fairly violently against law enforcement.
According to the DOJ, Trevor Brown from Novi forced his way into the Lower West Terrace. He's circled here in red. Federal investigators say he pushed his way to the front of the crowd, used a stolen police shield, and at times appeared to speak to fellow rioters using a bullhorn. Brown is charged with 5 crimes, including violent entry. Like so many January 6th defendants, investigators say he too took to social media, seeming to brag about his role.
It goes back to the mindset of the people who committed crimes on January 6th.
Outside of social media, facial recognition software has helped the FBI, as has cell phone records from inside the Capitol. But evidence is still being collected pertaining to January 6th, and some rioters are still at large.
This may not be the final number of people arrested or charged with links to Michigan.
Now, as for Brown, he was released on his own recognizance. He's due back in court on January 20th. At least one Michigan defendant remains in custody this morning, and another from Lapeer County. They were arrested just last month, so federal investigators are still actively looking for tips involving defendants, not only from Michigan, but around the country. Reporting live this morning, Jen Shantz, 7 Action News.
In fact, it was just yesterday that U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland said that the Justice Department is committed to finding any and all people involved in the attack on the Capitol. So yeah, this investigation isn't done. Jen Shantz live for us this morning. Thank you, Jen.